the After Party Hangover. I am your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, whose picture is not on right now. Oh, there he is. Oh, nice. I like that background. Well, the returning Don, the boss, the godfather of the Sinikk Mafia, as Jason Atlas or Sinikk, this badass backyard wrestler / father has graced us with his presence again. The brand new APPW YouTube champion, Sinikk _Chaos. How's it going, my man?
Dude, that was a kick-ass intro. Thank you. It's going good.
It's been a pretty interesting week on this side. How about you? How you doing in all this COVID shit?
Thriving.
Oh, yeah?
I am doing better than anybody I know.
Nice. You want to tell the peoples about it?
Yeah. So, financially, amazing. Landed a new job. Decided to be honest about a DWI that I ended up adding to my repertoire with YouTube Champion. and
That's the name of your finisher now.
What? The DWI?
The DWI.
We're gonna have to find like the 3 words that spell that out.
It'll be you on the golf cart like fucking Matt Hardy taking people out.
I'm under it. I'm just holding on.
Oh, you're
to
holding.
Whatever.
But yeah, you shared a lot of good news with me over Instagram and explain to the people the famous trainer you're now working with.
George South. So last week, I've been trying to do this since probably a year ago. And I went in there and I watched 3 training sessions. And that's what he normally has you do. He has you go in there and kind of watch. And my plan was to come back, and some shit happened, and I got really drunk and passed out somewhere in a gas station with keys in the ignition, and that fucked everything up. So I got arrested. Fuck jail. Anyway, so I just went back, paid for the training, and getting started 100% next week. It's gonna start off with easy stuff like running the ropes and little things like that.
I remember you telling me. You told me, I believe, a couple episodes, well, a lot of episodes ago, that you were going to start training with somebody. Was this the person you were talking about that whole time? That you were going to start training with? Because I remember you said you wanted to get back into wrestling for reals this time.
Yeah. The backyard stuff, I like doing hardcore wrestling, everything until I didn't. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to start getting paid to do it legit. And yeah, a whole bunch of my boys are indie wrestlers out here in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to get started with them. I don't know if you caught the Talking Shop Mania.
Oh, of course. Of course.
So they made a parody of him named George North.
That sounds familiar.
It was one of those, it was the match that was just going on way too long, all the way to like an empty pool and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Where that fat dude, the Ric Flair guy, had that one dude in the headlock. They went down the slide or something.
Yeah, it was like that match that turned out to be like a thread.
Yeah.
So just as I was pulling away after, signing, paperwork and stuff like that for medical and all that, I was like, yo, you see what Gallows and Anderson did? And he's like, yeah, I'm well aware. And I was like, dude, did they ask you? And he's like, no, they didn't ask me, and they didn't pay me either. And they want him to come down for the second one.
Oh, yeah?
I'm getting like way too many notifications pop up on top screen.
Popular guy here.
Off. I'm on the Hangover.
You know what's funny is it looks like you have 2 heads, the nice head and the mean head.
That's what I was going for. And then if I move over, you can't see the axe. Fuck. Oh well.
We get the idea. Crazy man coming at us with a weapon.
Pretty much.
That's what it takes to be YouTube champion.
It does, because if I don't have a boombox or an axe, anybody could take this title off my shoulder.
That's right, man. Some interesting things are going to be happening in the future for Sinikk Chaos's character in APPW. But I have some Sinikk stats here. Sinick's first after-party Hangover appearance was December 7th, 2019, all the way back to when life was normal, when you didn't have to wear a fucking mask on your face. And since then, you also appeared on one of my surprise shows with Jake, where we surprised you with the Sinikk Mafia shirt. And we got to meet Tai Mi Dong for the first time on that episode. Very entertaining episode.
Oh, you did me time down. You sexy motherfucker.
You've appeared on 4 Wednesday review shows, and on March 21st of this year, you and your woman came on and became the second couple on the Hangover interview. You were on the New Year's resolution show, the WrestleMania prediction show. You are one of the favorites of the After Party Hangover, sir, and I welcome you back. Thank you for spending your time to come talk shit with me about wrestling.
Thanks for asking me to talk shit about wrestling. It's a fucking pleasure, dude. I love talking shit about wrestling.
And there's a whole lot of shit to be talking about. But first, what? It's a played out question, I know, but I have a new line of questions now for my guests, and it's basically who is on your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
I got a Discord that I created myself. It's called Claws, Creative Legacy. Oh, shit, I have to fucking remember it myself now. Creative Legacy Alliance Wrestling Society.
Uh-huh.
And in that Discord server, I got a bunch of channels, and one of it is Mount Rushmores.
Oh.
So I'll do Mount Rushmores of referees, Mount Rushmores of ECW, female wrestlers. So, the first one that I did, I had to answer myself, too.
Yeah.
So
it's a hard one, man. It's a loaded question because only picking 4 is difficult.
My Rushmore changes. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I struggle.
I have to put Orton on there now. Like there was like the whole top 3, the PWI. That question kind of popped up, and I didn't put Orton in there, and I used Corbin as the honorable mention of like number 4. I'm like, nah. Corbin takes a backseat to Orton easily.
Oh, for sure, man. That dude's not only what he's been doing this year, but over the collective, that dude, he's got to be somewhere in the conversation of a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. And he just recently put himself there.
Oh, he did?
Well, you could have, went off of, he was lame for a while, right?
Yeah, he was.
And especially if you were in a place in your head where you were judging, moves and spots and shit. He was the scoop slam, the European uppercuts. He even stopped doing that really sick, innovative backbreaker.
The backbreaker, yeah. And always when he's face, and every time he turns face, it's always a.
Yeah. Just a shitty face.
Yeah.
And
but
then he was starting to become
heel.
a not so, like a not so edgy heel. Like he wasn't.
Yeah. It's what they were talking about when he was resting on his laurels, where he wasn't really into the story or into it at all. Yeah. You can tell that's when people were shitting on him. But now, my God, that guy is fire.
Nobody else was giving a shit about good wrestling, so he was probably like, kind of, why should I?
Yeah.
Nobody was, like, selling is such a lost art, and you probably hear that all the time. Selling, good storytelling, all that. Just the little, Zanka said something about the little nuances that people throw in there.
Yeah.
If you're a good, smart wrestling fan, you catch them. If not, you're like, why didn't they do a triple backflip? Why he hit his finisher once and it's over? That's bullshit.
Well, plus Orton is famous for telling everybody to slow it down, so you can, appreciate what's happening in the ring and follow the storytelling a little better when you slow everything down. I think so.
Yeah, but you know what? In the 90s and the early 2000s, that's what they did was slow it down. And what's your favorite era of wrestling?
The Attitude Era.
Mm. They knew what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
And they knew how to create a cliffhanger.
Yep.
When you finished Raw, you were like, oh my God, what the fuck is going to happen? I got to wait till next week. Yeah, but you fucking did, didn't you?
Yep.
And that's how they kept people coming back.
Well, there you go. Orton, who's the final three?
Austin's always on there, no matter what. He never leaves.
Yep. Austin. Let me write this down. I always struggle with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I always struggle with him, man. Because I didn't follow his early stuff. Like, I'm only familiar with his current stuff. I know he's 16-time. I know he is the greatest of all time, they all say. But I was more of a WWF guy. So I didn't really experience the full Flairness like other people have. So that's why I replace him with Bret Hart sometimes.
Well, I love listening to Tommy Dreamer when he talks on Busted Open.
Yeah.
Because he's such a wrestling historian. And he literally got me invested into going into the network and going back to 88, 87. I watched old Harley Race stuff before he dyed his hair blonde and kind of became a bit of a bitch. But, like, before Harley Race was King Harley Race, he was a fucking badass. He was the guy that walked around with his pistol and would, like, pull it out on other wrestlers if they pissed them off.
Simpler times.
Yeah. Wish I could pull out a fucking pistol and be like...
Just pistol whip a bitch. So does that mean Harley Race is number 3?
No.
No.
No, but Ric Flair's definitely on there because I watched the cage match between Ric Flair and Harley Race.
Yeah.
And I, like, turned my judgmental brain off and just watched it for what it is. And, you know, I didn't think about now and how fast wrestling is now. I just appreciated, like, every minute of it.
Yeah.
So
Who won that match?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Okay. Is that one of his 16 reigns?
I think he retained that night. Now I gotta watch it again.
I'm a fan of watching old wrestling. I'll watch old wrestling. It's just, you know how much fucking wrestling we already have to watch.
Oh yeah. Well, I just watched Kamala after he died. Young Kamala. Not in WWF, like before WWF.
Was he thinner?
Yeah. Face was thinner. Everything was a bit thinner.
Wow. And he still had his legs.
Yeah. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
He's a brother.
He's a tripod. So you got Orton, Austin, Flair. Who claims the final spot? It's a tough one.
It is. It's such a tough one.
You got your Bret Hart. You got your Shawn Michaels. You got your, well, for me, Kurt Angle's. I love Kurt Angle. It's very Triple H's, you know. Macho Man.
My favorite time for Triple H was 2001 when he came back for the Rumble and everything.
That was incredible.
I love that face run. He was just kick ass when he had the double jacket. It was like the leather sewed into the fucking Canadian tuxedo jacket.
Do you remember the pop he got when he came back on that Raw? It was unbelievable.
I was part of that pop. I was the 13-year-old white boy who punched his wall in. Like, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, everyone went crazy. I went crazy. It was awesome. You could see it in Triple H's face too. He was very happy to be back, and the fans were happy to have him back. So
you know, this is gonna be a strange 4th one. I'm gonna go Cody.
Cody Rhodes.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay, let me make this official. Okay.
after 25 years of being a wrestling fan and going so long before anything even got me like emotional, Cody Rhodes against Dustin made me cry. Like a fucking man bitch.
In AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That match put me in fucking tears. I was sitting on my couch and I was like, what's happening? It's just the ugly cry.
Like, what's this moisture coming from my eyes? It's getting a little dusty in here. No.
It was very dusty.
Yeah. Hey, Dusty.
And,
see, we're bringing it all around. Dusty Rhodes.
yeah, I could say dusty, but like what his son is doing right now, he's far from done. Who knows what he's going to do next? And I got a hunch that Cody is going to be the front man of a reboot of the Four Horsemen.
Oh, wow. That's
another
FTR. Conversation to be had. Who would be in the new Horseman? You know he got to bring his brother in there.
No.
No?
Fuck that. No, he's on his way out. He's got, he was very impressive. You saw that somersault flip off the apron. Like he was just pulling out all new shit, trying to hang with the young dudes and everything. Changed his whole look, got to be what he wanted to be all along.
Yeah.
But he's on his way out. Yep. So it should be all new blood. It should be managed by Tully. You got FTR. Cody's the front man. And I think Sean Spears should be in there because he already started with Tully. And I think they should kick him out and bring in Nick Aldis.
Oh, wow. Nick Aldis.
NWA is coming in.
When are they going to be taping again? They've been gone a while, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're probably going to stay gone a little bit longer.
Oh. See this fucking COVID shit, man. It's shitting in everyone's cornflakes.
Except for Eddie Kingston. My man's thriving.
Yeah, that dude, he can cut a promo. I love his promos.
I am a big fan. I grew up in the ghetto, and the shit that he spit, I was just like, yes.
Well, we got your Mount Rushmore, so let's move on to the next question. What is the last movie you watched? And I know you have a son, so was it a kiddie movie, or was it a adult movie, or what was it?
Fuck, what was the last movie I watched? Might have been It Chapter 2 for the second time.
Oh, really? Did you like that better than the first? The first chapter? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little more intense. I liked it. I think both were great, but the way part 2 ended, I hated it. He was a cowardly alien. That was gay, dude.
It fucking it was like huge, and then it started shrinking.
Yeah, they're like, I'm not afraid of you, and he's like, oh, I didn't like that. He's an alien from outer space. I didn't like that at all. But I digress. It's still a good movie. Well, that's right.
Sometimes a match could be really shitty, but the storytelling is really good and the point they're trying to get across.
Yeah.
They basically, like, he belittled all of them and kind of backed them into a corner. They showed they weren't afraid, and they backed him into a corner until he was absolutely fucking nothing and then dead.
It'll be like Drake Maverick versus Dijakovic. Well, I actually reached out to the hosts of the Still Real After Party if they wanted to ask you a question. And, of course, the sheriff stepped up. I don't know where Jake is. I don't know if he drowned in his tub or something. But the sheriff...
the complete opposite.
The sheriff stepped up, and he asked you, Sinikk, this question. If ants were the size of camels, do you think you could kill one using just an old shoe?
If ants were the size of camels.
I would say a really big sheriff's cowboy boot. Like, I'm talking about practical joke size. You know those boxing gloves that like go over your whole forearm?
Massive ones, yeah.
A massive, just cowboy boot with the spinner on it. Fucking bam!
You would have to beat the shit out of that ant, man.
Yeah.
Come off the top rope. Well, believe it or not, he included hashtags. Hashtag can't add a spike. Hashtag, I'm currently taking a shit. Hashtag, poop is literally halfway out of my butthole. Hashtag, this is me, Mangria speaking. And I want to say that Zanka really is the best #1 host of all space and times. Hashtag, boing. Hashtag, the doctor of Dookie-nomics. Hashtag, Sheriff Boss Sauce. Hashtag, sweat and sour power hour. That sounds like a vocal exercise.
I gotta say, your acting is on point for that one hashtag that you pretended it was Zanker. You
No,
looked down at the
I've
paper.
never. Oh yeah. I
You
only
looked down
read
at
the
paper
first
that
one,
like
but
you were
can't
reading
add a
something.
spike. But yeah,
Wait,
there we go.
But what if it's a sharp wheel? Where I wouldn't call that a spike. I think I just found a little loophole in his. Yep.
Yeah, because he didn't say spur. He didn't say you can't add a spur.
Yeah.
There you go,
Fuck
man.
spike.
Slit the ant's throat. Okay, now it's time.
Put up a thump.
Okay. Now it's time for the hypothetical question of the week for Sinikk Chaos. Would you rather have a 60-minute death match with New Jack or get 7 butthole tattoos on your face?
But what's a butthole tattoo? Is it just like colors, like little round?
So circle butthole right here, circle butthole right here, circle butthole right here. 7.
All right, so I'm gonna go New Jack.
You're gonna die, man. You're gonna die.
Well, here's the thing. If I put up a good fight and either live to tell about it, but I'm severely fucking destroyed, then I got a New Jack story to come back onto on the Hangover to tell you guys.
And plus, Dark Side of the Ring, Chapter 2 of New Jack, they'll give you a call. So, hey, Nick, I heard that you tangled with New Jack. Do people still do this?
They'll cut me off and you'll have Cornette in there. It was atrocious. Fucking dirty mud show motherfuckers.
What's Cornette's most used catchphrase?
Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Is that his sign-off?
Yeah.
Oh, it is? I gotta listen to that, dude. I
love the Jim Cornette Experience. I listen to that shit religiously.
Does he take questions too?
No. Well, he takes letters. He's fucking old school in every possible way. He is
snail
old school.
Mail? He takes snail mail?
Mm.
Wow. I'm surprised he trusts the fucking people not to put anthrax in there or some shit.
He has his co-host, Brian Last, who will read the emails or send them to him.
Oh,
He's probably got like a Windows 98 gateway computer.
With dial-up.
Yeah, with dial-up.
Well,
and Livewire.
This is a good transition to the after-party hangover poll of the week. Sinikk, do you have tattoos?
Yeah, like fucking 10.
What's your favorite one? And it better not be on your dick.
No one's ever asked me that. I haven't gotten to that. I haven't gotten to the dick tattoo. I'm waiting until I'm like 50.
50.
Yeah, and I'm gonna grow out a big bush, and right above it, I'm gonna get over the hill. Favorite tattoo? I've never been asked that.
Damn, you got 10 tattoos?
I think, yeah.
Jeez.
They look together, a lot of them, but they're fucking separate. I love my Bullet for My Valentine tattoo because she's got big ass titties, and
damn, that's pretty good.
She got murdered. There's like a shadow guy in there.
Wow.
It's also their first album, which was like the only one that was really good.
Yeah.
I just love music.
That's dedication.
Maybe the microphone, because screaming is my fucking passion. It's my release. It's my go-to to just get shit out. Writing lyrics and screaming them into a fucking microphone.
Oh yeah, it's a type of therapy for many people. I mean, even
Yeah.
my fat ass, when I have my Rock Band video game for Xbox, I'd be like, never coming home, never coming home. Or some gay shit like that. But hey, man, you release some negative energy when you start singing. I enjoy singing, even though I'm fucking terrible at it. But I understand with that mic tattoo is pretty badass. Is it a
You know,
tie between
is
the
it
mic?
what?
Is it a tie between the mic and your Bullet for My Valentine tat? Which one's your favorite?
I don't fucking know. You know what's funny is this just look like, if you don't know me, it just looks like I have murder written on my fucking forearm.
It looks like Munich.
Well, it's supposed to be red rum from The Shining. I'm a big horror guy.
That's
But
pretty
if you
sweet.
look at like, oh, this guy just likes to fucking murder people.
I gotta add that to your character now.
It looked cool while I was in the cell, you know? Not hell in a cell, well, sort of, but just the holding cell.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that guy might be a murderer. I totally shouldn't talk to him. And I was hungover, so I didn't want anybody to talk to me. But if, like, I'm at a job interview, I'm definitely wearing long sleeves. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we're not going to hire this fucking murderer.
Jeez. Alrighty. Well, I asked the Steel Real Army the same question, and I got some interesting responses. The Great Bretsky 99 said, "No tattoos, but if I had to choose a favorite of all time, it'd be Cody's neck tattoo." Let's see. Oh, Savage Alpha Foxtrot. He has 2 tattoos: a skull with crossed rifles on his chest and a phoenix on his back. Brittany Bomber famously is covered in tats. I asked her what is her favorite tattoo that she has, and she said that she has a sleeve of the Labyrinth. Remember David Bowie in Labyrinth, the movie?
Yeah.
She has a sleeve of the Labyrinth. That's pretty fucking badass.
That's cool.
Zanka actually had a heartfelt answer. It had some special meaning to him. He said that I had a close friend kill himself a few days before my birthday in November. So I got some Guns N' Roses lyrics done for him. Nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain.
That hits,
pretty
man.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Jake said donut. He has a donut tattoo. You know what's impressive?
The donut from, what was that movie, Sex Drive? When he has to dress up as the donut with sprinkles.
It looks like that. It resembles that
movie if you haven't.
The most impressive one I got was from Matthew JH 13A. I don't know if you can see this or not, but you remember the old school Frankenstein movie, like the first Frankenstein movie?
Yeah.
And he escapes his captivity and he sees a little girl at a lake and he tries to talk to her. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me see. But he got that scene.
Oh, yeah, I kind of see it.
He got that scene tattooed on his arm.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a huge movie fan, so I thought that was pretty badass. He has a lot of tattoos. He says he has 2 sleeves on his arms, and he just went on about all his cool tattoos. Believe it or not, Zank Chris of the Mega Pounders with Cheese has a tattoo, and they're not cheeseburgers. He has a skull with tribal on his shin bone, and the other is a devil fighting an angel. So I thought that was pretty sweet. And those are the answers from the Steel Real Army. Thank you, everybody, for contributing to that. And now it is time. Yes, it is time to talk about...
Before we do...
Huh?
Before we do...
Yeah.
I have a question for the Steel Real Army. To see how much of an, dedicated Army member each one of these guys are. If we do meet up somewhere, whether it's Jake's parents' super sweet man pad or, I don't know, like Zanka's guitar room or wherever the fuck, would anybody be down to all go out and get a tattoo of that logo behind you.
Oh, the sign, the Still Real After Party logo, huh?
Or even on your own. Yep.
There we go.
I feel like you'd be the first one.
I get it on my fat arm because there's tons of room. Plenty of canvas for that Still Real logo.
And when you flex, he flexes.
That's true. There you go. See, it works.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think Cesar would be down for that or Bretsky, but I bet you Zanka would probably do it. Jake, you'd have to get him drunk, spike his Kool-Aid or something, or whatever he eats in the bathtub.
Yeah, I should have excluded the intelligent people. They're boring.
Well, it is time now to talk about Still Real After Party episode 125, Butthole Skittles.
Butthole Skittles.
We start the episode off with Jake bragging that he is a lord now. He purchased the rights to become Lord of Sealand, or Seaman, as we deemed him in the hashtags. What do you think of Jake needing this title for himself? Do you think it's a cry for help, or did you drop your drink?
Yeah, I'm good. Fucking explosion of crumbs, C4.
The caffeinated explosive.
Oh yeah, my job's fucking crazy, so I gotta stay wired.
What do you think about Jake becoming a lord?
I picture him like wearing like the skipper's hat in his bathtub with a lot of ducks.
Oh man.
And then on the wall of like the tub is just a certificate with like crayons with like spikes just meshed to stay on the wall.
Oh my god.
And that's just kind of what he's got going on there. And peanut butter cups.
And he's taking selfies when he's in there with making sure that the deed is in the background, taking pictures.
But he still blurs out his face like
Yeah.
It's like a Chris Hansen thing. They didn't agree to be on TV.
Well, speaking of Lord Jake of Seaman, he was on the most recent Faux Pod, Bretsky's podcast. Give it a listen. They say a lot of nice things about the Hangover. I really appreciate that, guys. So I'm going to throw you a plug. Listen to the Faux Pod. It's on Anchor. Search the Faux Pod. It's more tame. It's a tamer podcast than what we got going here. But
that's why they didn't ask me to be on it.
Well, he doesn't even want to get Zanka or Cesar on it because of the things that they say, and his podcast is college wide. So I even had to tone it down.
That means I still have my savage edge that nobody wants to expose.
Well, they broke down. Oh no, wait. The LOL line of the episode, of course, it came out right out the gate, minute 7, when they were talking about Roman Reigns' teeth being so white, and Zanka said, "Dude, those teeth look over their shoulder when they say the N-word."
That was
You
good.
remember that?
Yeah.
God damn, I had to sit down. I was laughing so hard at that, man. Oh, that became the running theme of the episode. Zanka using all these funny jokes to describe how white Roman Reigns' teeth are. What do you think of Roman's new chompers?
You could take this any way you want. I know Zanka will, but when he said that shit, I almost dropped my bundle of wood that I was carrying over my shoulder.
It was pretty damn funny. And then they talked about TakeOver and SummerSlam. I want to ask you a question, Sinikk. Over this wrestling weekend we just got spoiled with, who, in your opinion, made the better debut? Dominic or Pat McAfee?
Yo, I'm with Zanka on that fucking hood.
Yeah.
Such a distraction.
Yep.
McAfee, because you could see like stuff from Dominic coming earlier where they did double 619.
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio is his dad. Chavo was probably in there helping him out in the ring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nobody knew shit about the quote-unquote 2 weeks that Pat McAfee had with Rip Rogers.
And you could not have called him running and jumping onto the turnbuckle like he did like that. Incredible athlete.
And that flip, that was better than fucking some of the shit that you see on AEW and stuff like that, where they fuck it up. I've seen Pac fuck up shit like that. And he just did. And it didn't look like everybody was waiting to catch him.
Yeah.
It looked like they were like, yo, was that supposed to happen?
Yeah. They know how to do it better on NXT, whereas Dominic, everyone was being careful, and like you said, you could see stuff coming. But I hope this isn't the last we see of Pat McAfee in an NXT or WWE ring.
If you want to know some possible answer to that, check out Corey Graves' podcast, After the Bell.
I still have to check that out, but it is downloaded. It's on my queue.
They're like mad tight, so he had them on there. They're like friends. They were discussing like the whole situation, and it sounds like he's gunning for Triple H next.
Triple H? Holy shit. Oh, because he pushed him?
Yeah, that was exactly what he was like, yo, when he shoved me once, the first time, he's like, all right, you want me to back up? The second time, I was like, I'm going to fuck you up.
Wow, that'd be an interesting match. And do you think Triple H would put him over?
No.
Triple
H Triple H wouldn't put Booker T over.
Yeah, that's true. Or Sting. Well, Sleepy Zanka set a record for interrupting this episode, stepping all over the hashtags. It was funny, but you could tell how fucking tired he was. And we talked to him later on that day in the chat, and I said, "Did you get a nap?" And he goes, "No, I didn't get a nap." So he was still running on fumes for the rest of that day after the podcast. But man, you can relate to him about the lack of sleep you get when you have a child and a job. So
yeah. And Zanka runs best when he's running off fumes. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah. Even though he says he's tired, he sounds like he has a lot of energy.
Yeah. And usually we try to give that to him. Which, despite the fact that you even gave me the heads up, I went in. This is how I usually determine it. I look and I see when the amount of hours it's been since the last person asked their question. And it said 3 hours. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm good. When I see it's 8, I'm like, I'm fucked. I'll get the next one. So I wrote out this whole shit. I took my time with my hashtags. I got creative. I asked 3 questions instead of 1. Said I'd make them quick, but they fucking weren't. Apologized for them not being quick. Made fun of Jake like I tend to try to do. And everything was just nice. I even, because there was such an ongoing thing with the phone ringing, I thought that was great because I'm like, that was in one of my fucking hashtags.
That's going to come up later. You have one more chance this coming week to get in on time because it'll be their final podcast of the month until we get, what's the next pay-per-view? Not Payback, but after that, it's, shit, I don't even know. They haven't announced it.
Survivor Series?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, man, they need to bring that back. By the way, thanks to Zanka's inspiration, I'm pretty sure you saw it because I posted it in the APPUW chat that we have. Mangina Filled is now going to be my valet in APPW, and you've seen what Mangina Filled looks like, right?
I love it. You still got to give me Cornette as a manager.
Yeah, I'm taking the week off of APPW, but I'm slowly putting together a new intro, which you're in, by the way, with your brand new YouTube championship. Then they started talking about the Raw that just happened, and they for some reason got into, well, Zanka's randomness said, "Would you rather have Joe Biden or Trump butt fuck you?" And then during that conversation, Zanka says, "If I'm getting some sort of butt fucking, I think there needs to be a cuddle after." That was my second LOL line of the episode, but I think the Roman Reigns teeth one was better.
I feel like after you got butt fucked by either Trump or by Biden, who was apparently the cuddler in Zanka's mind, I feel like you need to be cuddled by somebody else who's not the person who just sodomized your asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of re-traumatizing because the guy's sticking around. And then, like he said, Trump would just be bragging about it. Zanka is trying to change Jake's gimmick from pedo to granny lover. Necro granny lover. What are your thoughts on this gimmick change for Jake?
I got to get used to it. I don't have any material yet.
So that means Sticks, Caesar, Brett, they're all going to have to change their hashtags to granny lover or necro granny lover. It's always the incredible extremes with Jake. But this brings me to the phone ringing in the background is a funny reoccurring character now on the podcast, and I enjoyed it this time because they were taunting the phone this time, trying to get it to ring. It's fucking hilarious. Every time it rings and Jake gets pissed, he goes, "I'm not gonna acknowledge that," and Zanka goes, "Don't acknowledge it."
Well, I don't know if you even got a chance to read my question.
Yeah, you want me to you want me to say it? The hashtags?
That would be fucking great because I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this shit, and now I'm like, maybe I'll just try to find a way to get it in the Hangover somehow.
Well, here you go, my friend. Only the best for my guests. I'll leave the question out so you can ask them next week, but the hashtags are hashtag Sinikk Mafia, hashtag Sinikk runs YouTube,
Fuck yeah.
hashtag Violet is jumping ship, more on this later, hashtag Mangria for mayor of Fucktown, hell yeah, hashtag Bretsky is going to take over APPW like a game of Monopoly. Typical Jew. No.
Typical Jew.
Hashtag putting the boys over. Hashtag just started pro training and ready to fuck shit up. I think the guys are going to be excited to hear about that. That's pretty badass that one of our own is getting into this.
I'll send you guys my fucking map charts.
Hey, now you got to take pictures with people with the signs now whenever you meet a new wrestler out there that comes through and guest spots or something.
Oh my god, what if I make a JGBO sign? No, sorry, JGBH, and it'll be Jordan Grace's butthole.
Andy will definitely get a pop out of that. Hashtag Tryon is motherfucking beast. Hashtag Zanka has to be getting tired of reading all of these hashtags in his cinematic voice, but the army appreciates your enthusiasm. Hashtag please chop Jake 3 times for retribution. Please put that again in your question when you re-ask it. I want that on there again. Hashtag whether HBK sells it or not, or McIntyre needs an extra one to go to a local medical facility. Orton's punt will always be hashtag decent at best. Hashtag Jake's father works for Fuji. Hashtag special shout out to Mangria who rocks shit, always delivers, and reminded me about Instagram questions. I should have did it earlier though.
This was better read on the Hangover.
Hashtag apologies to Zanka. Those questions weren't short. Oh, those are your questions you asked. Hashtag Caesar has an overall of 169. That's the points in the WWE 2K20. Because he doesn't lose that often. Hashtag all hail Linda's Bush and Fuji. There you go, my man. All right. That's it. Let's start on NXT. Did you check out NXT this week? If not, you can commentate on my my vomiting of my notes.
Yeah, hit me with your note vomit, and hopefully some shit will kick up.
Alrighty, we kick off NXT with Karrion Kross in a sling and Scarlett. Karrion must surrender the title due to a separated shoulder, but he says to the camera, "Doomsday is coming." What a bummer, man. What a bummer that Karrion is injured. Just like Finn Balor happened to him. I read on the dirt sheets, though, that the injury to Karrion is a lot more serious than they thought. So he could be out a little longer than we anticipated. But then again, that was on the internet. You can't always believe what you read. But what are your thoughts on Karrion Kross getting injured?
This is why I love Bully Ray 10 times more after he left WWE. Because hearing him on fucking Sirius XM, he always comes up with the best fucking fantasy booking ideas. And he's like, Karrion Kross went out like a bitch. He said, I would much rather see some crazy shit like William Regal get a text message or a phone call with like a distorted voice, or Scarlett herself, and say, we're not handing you the title, you could come pick it up in the parking lot. And then William Regal goes out to the parking lot and brings a couple people because it's shady. And then the title is just in the middle of the parking lot by itself. Nobody's around.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts walking towards the title and hears a ticking. And then you just hear a voice go, Mr. Regal, no! Fade to black.
Holy shit.
Wouldn't you want to watch NXT the next week and be like, what the fuck happened?
That's like a Vince McMahon exploding limo angle.
Well, yeah, but without Paul London smiling in the background to ruin it.
Getting fired. That would be pretty badass.
I wonder what was going to come of that. We'll never know.
I wish, you know what? When Vince McMahon dies, the script for the next month will go up on eBay or something. I'm going to buy that script and I'm going to reveal what the plan was. Well, after
Sounds
this,
good.
we get Wade Barrett returning to the WWE NXT to join Big Dick Vic Joseph on commentary. I've never experienced Wade Barrett's commentary, but throughout the night, it was incredible.
Very fucking good.
We kick off the first match of the night is Breezango versus Imperium for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Dango and Breeze have never had gold in the WWE. I was blown away when Wade Barrett said that. I had no idea they've been there so long and have not held like an Intercontinental or United. I mean, even the B team held the fucking.
No, Fandango has been a champion.
He has?
Yeah.
What belt did he have?
United States. And
He did?
definitely United States, yeah.
Well, I don't know what the hell Wade Barrett was smoking then.
Well, I know him now as Stu.
Stu
I like
Bennett.
him as Stu.
Stu Bennett. The ref gets in Breeze's way in corner. Was that an accident? Breezango firing on all cylinders. Great match. At one point, they had a camera angle of Marcel Barthel, and I thought to myself, he looks like a male Karen. After a double leg drop off the top rope from Fandango, pin for the win, new tag team champions. Sinikk, what did you think about this tag team title matchup?
So as you're fucking rebooting my shit system, realizing that I turned on NXT as William Regal. Well, the first shot of when I turned it on, the title was in the ring on the little
On the podium
pillow.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I missed this whole thing still somehow. I don't know. I was probably jerking off or something.
Well, I gotta say, I was really happy for Breezango finally getting some gold after all these fucking years as a tag team. I mean, because remember when they were on SmackDown facing the Usos? That was when they almost got those belts when they were doing the janitor. He was doing the janitor gimmick in the ring or whatever.
That was awesome.
It's like,
Yeah,
man, they were so close, but they didn't get it, and now they finally got that brass ring. The tag team champions of NXT. Hopefully, they're not transitional for whoever's coming. Like the Cesar always called them the authors of trash. You remember those two big giant Indian dudes?
Oh, Jinder and Mahal.
Yeah. Hopefully they got fired after spoiling what happened in that Keith Lee match, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Damian Priest.
I think the main focus is on that little short black dude. His facial expressions are gold, man. I love that guy.
He's the charisma of that group, and when his eyes bug out of his head and his promos, it's all fire. And those two big dudes better listen to him because he's a star.
I feel like that guy that he's got the famous facial expression for when the Undertaker's
Oh yeah.
streak got broken. Like that guy took a little round poop and it grew legs and arms and became, what's his name again?
I'm looking it up right now.
I knew it for so long.
NXT.
Malcolm
Malcolm
Devin or something.
Malcolm Bivens. There we
Bivens.
go.
Yeah.
Bivens, yeah.
It's the Bivens. I could just see like he could be the next like to jury for William Regal or something.
Do you remember Talking Shopomania at the very end where Carl Anderson like did the last move to Luke Gallows? I know that's not their names, but and they smash cut to a fat black dude with the shock face, but it was like in the daytime.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of the entire pay-per-view, dude. I laughed so hard at that.
You have to hear when they just do voices fucking around, because Talking Shop by itself is a podcast and it's hilarious. I almost crashed my truck like twice. They're so fucking funny.
I always love it when they're on Jericho's podcast and they did Talking Shop with Jericho. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was a while ago. But
they were telling a story where for some reason every time they go to the South, they hate going to a gas station in the South because there's always some drunk fucking like skinny crackhead that has to ask Gallows, "Hey man, how big are you?" And Gallows is always like, "Pretty fucking big." And they named the episode after what he asked them he asked Gallows if he wanted. It was like cocaine something. It was shit, I can't think of it. I gotta look that up.
Man, so you listen to Busted Open, you listen to Talking Shop, you listen to Steel Row After Party. Your podcast, and Talk is Jericho and After the Bell. Do you listen to the New Day podcast?
Yeah.
It's pretty good too. It's funny to hear their stories and how they pick on Big E.
Yo, when they had Topanga on there, I was fucking sold.
That was cool.
And what else? I love it at the end of each episode where they're all plugging their shit, and Big E just starts going, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter as blah blah blah. He's like, but Big E don't need your follows. Don't follow me. I hate when people.
And then he sticks in a Cameo plug at the end. But find me on Cameo.
He said, "I'll sing Happy Birthday to your grandmother. I don't care what it is."
He did a good job on the cameo that I got from him too. I like that one.
Did I see that?
It was one of the intros for the SRAP. I can send you it after we're done here.
Heard it.
Yeah.
I haven't missed an episode.
Well, after this, Damian Priest was interviewed backstage, chugging the bubbly as Timothy Thatcher interrupts. He wants to be the first shot at the North American Championship. That'll be an interesting matchup, but I mean, Timothy lost to Finn, so I don't see why Timothy thinks he should be Damian Priest's first challenge, but I mean, that would be a hell of a match. Damian versus Timothy.
Shayna Baszler versus Timothy Thatcher, teeth versus teeth match.
Oh my God. Loser eats gravel match.
Pyro goes off in their mouths.
That's the end result, is Timothy's mouth. Old Bingo Jacket Jake versus Tommaso Ciampa, the returning Tommaso Ciampa with a weird mask. It was a quick squash. Tommaso wins, and then he commits a hate crime to Jake afterwards by beating the living shit out of him. He does a slingshot to Jake, catapult to Jake under the ring. He hit the steel part. They put him on a stretcher. They're stretchering him off. And then Tommaso turns him sideways and does a draping DDT off the stretcher to poor Jake Atlas. Tommaso Ciampa has returned, and they really want you to know this motherfucker's a heel again. Are you excited to see heel Tommaso Ciampa return?
Yeah, it lost everything when Ciampa just randomly kind of started going towards face.
Yeah.
Heel Ciampa, when he was doing fucking promos in the back of a fucking trailer, that shit was cool.
I like it when Tommaso, he does and he pats himself on the back. I always pop for that. I like that. But
I didn't like it when DIY was doing it together.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
It felt like such a Ciampa thing, like he made it his own.
And like we were talking about earlier with Randy Orton, I mean, face Orton is face Tommaso Ciampa. So now that we got the heels back, Tommaso Ciampa is going to be a lot more vicious and a lot more entertaining, I think.
Okay, let me ask you a question, because they both thrive as heels, and they had their little dispute on Instagram or Twitter or something.
Twitter, yeah.
Usually Orton fucks with people on Instagram. If you had to pick which one would have to be face if they were to fight each other, who would it be?
God, Tommaso, because Orton is such a good heel, man. Orton, he's so sadistic. I mean, I know Ciampa, he has the little man complex, and so he overcompensates by being extremely violent. But Orton with those mind games and the RKO out of nowhere, and I'd love it. I'd love a heel Orton versus a face Ciampa.
Ciampa could probably still pull off being a badass while being a babyface.
What if they were both heel and they faced each other?
Well, then Jim Cornette's going to have a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah, we've been getting some heels versus heels and face versus face matches. Like last week, it was Shotzi. Oh, I think that's this week, actually. Yeah, Shotzi versus Mia Yim happened this week. That was face versus face. But, yeah, we get heel Tommaso back. It's going to be incredible. Later, there'll be an update on the heel Tommaso Ciampa character and the opportunity that he's going to get. But like I said, Candice got a video interview about Tegan. It was pretty cool. Heel Candice, in my opinion, is very good. I like her music too. Thick Boy.
The only time I ever liked Candice, it was only for a couple minutes. Is because it felt like she was paying tribute to Lita from the TLC match. But in this case, the 5-man ladder match, which stole the show for the weekend.
Oh, yeah. That was incredible.
I thought that was sick.
Thick Boy was interviewed, Bronson Reed, and the returning, I don't know if you know about this, Austin Theory finally resurfaces and interrupts Thick Boy's interview. He talks some trash to Bronson Reed. Bronson then slaps the taste out of his mouth.
Slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah, he did. What do you think about Austin Theory returning amidst all the, the shitstorm that happened to him a couple months ago?
Yeah, he's got to be rebuilt pretty good. Because that kind of fucked him.
Yeah, him and Velveteen Dream, they got to get a better PR person or something, because even leaking into the Thunderdome, we're getting some shit talking to Velveteen Dream, and I'm still unclear what the hell happened with all that situation, and we know nothing about what happened with Austin Theory and his accuser. But I mean, Bronson Reed versus Austin Theory, I'm there. I want to see that match.
Why do all my new age favorites have to turn into something that could just be bashed by it? Like, one becomes a pedophile, another one becomes a woman beater. Like, What the fuck? It's like the wrestling gods are like, fuck you, man. I'm going to fuck up your favorite wrestlers modern day by just using social media and leaks of stuff.
Well, not to mention Benoit. No. Oh, man.
He lives on with the halo from hell.
Up next, Mia Yim comes out, setting up for her match. Was supposed to be against Aaliyah. Robert Stone comes out with Aaliyah. He has gold chains hanging off his glasses, which popped me big time. That was hella funny. It reminded me of that chick from Ghostbusters. Talks trash to Mia, but out of nowhere, Shotzi and her fucking Tonka Power Wheels tank runs him over from behind. Once that happens, Shotzi and Mia face off. Like I said, face versus face. Mia throat punches Shotzi mid-howl. Thank you, Mia. Unique corner dragon screw by Mia. She like folded her legs and held them and then did the dragon screw. I thought that was pretty badass. A pretty cool match. I enjoyed both ladies' performance. Shotzi with a top rope senton pin for the win. Sinikk, did you see this match?
That throat chop. And I gotta ask, now that Keith Lee's moved on to Raw, and they're going to be in a whole different place, who do you think is going to move in on that fortune cookie?
Robert Stone, man. He's tagged Aaliyah. He's tagged Mercedes Martinez, even though she probably plays for the other team. But I mean, Robert Stone, the Bradley Cooper looking motherfucker, he's gonna go all up in that fortune cookie, son.
You know, with that Blasian baddie gimmick that she's kind of watered down so much, it was cool during the whole Mae Young Classic era, you know, when she was just coming in.
Yeah.
If she could turn that heel and get really fucking ghetto on everybody, I'd be all for that shit.
Like an Ivelisse or fucking who's the other one? Diamante.
I'll give you the perfect. She'd be like an Asian that thinks she's Spanish and black. Like, did you ever see White Men Can't Jump?
Yeah.
I want to see a Rosie Perez, which is Billy.
Oh man,
How
that
dare
would
you
be
lose
incredible.
the fucking money, Billy?
I would love to see that. But you know they're not gonna do that. But Mia Yim, that's a good question. Her man's moving on to Raw. Wrestling relationships don't always work out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Mia Yim, I'm shocked that she lost this match. Shotzi, no pun intended, but she's still a little green, in my opinion. But who do you think is the better of those two, in your opinion? Because you've seen them wrestle before. Who do you think is the better, in your opinion?
Oh, 150%. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Shotzi, she botches almost all the time. She hurts herself too.
Let me tell you from somebody who tried to do like a hardcore metal punky type gimmick, you're only appealing to a very small audience and you will remain a mid-card and you're just painting yourself into you know, a spot. It's kind of like when Heath Slater tried to be funny a couple times. Oh, he's a comedy character. Oh, I got some shit
good
on him.
shit, pal.
24/7 championship, here you come, but you're never gonna win it.
Oh man, yeah, Shotzi. I've said this plenty of times, but I think she tries too hard. But she's still searching for her gimmick, I guess, because she's got the helmet, she's got the tank, she's got the green hair, she's got the fucking Riot Squad outfit on. I mean, pick a lane and stick to it.
Yo, I got the perfect takeover entrance for her when the crowd like fully comes back.
Uh-huh.
You get a whole bunch of people to paint themselves green and dress up as the little army men. Maybe midgets. Midgets would be funny.
Yeah.
And then you have her come out on in the RC car, and you do like a whole Toy Story entrance for her.
Oh my god! With that one dude singing "You Got a Friend in Me" on the stage.
Oh, imagine the piano.
Well,
who's the guy? Whoever makes fun of him on Family Guy when they did that.
I think it's Will Sasso. Will Sasso. Yeah, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
Get that guy.
Well, after this, Dakota Kai and Straight Sonya, as we deemed her, were interviewed. I guess, yeah, her name's Raquel Gonzalez, but we called her Straight Sonya so much that's totally lost on me.
Oh, she's not straight. She just has a bigger vagina.
Oh, okay, I see. She did look hot, though. After this is where you tuned in. William Regal's in the ring, and he says that next Tuesday, Super Tuesday, we're going to get a fatal four-way Iron Man matchup for the vacant NXT Championship with four of the greatest NXT superstars there has been. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Finn Balor versus Adam Cole, baby, Sinikk. Call it right now. Who's winning?
I'm gonna lead with this. During that North American Championship match, I almost didn't care who won. I thought it would just be great no matter what. The only person I didn't want to fucking see win was Gargano. I've grown to fucking hate him.
Also, his heel work is working on you.
Fucking hope so. Yeah, I want to give that to Balor.
Oh, Balor.
He came back to NXT, and since then he's had like, you know, some great matches and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that he could really, like, I don't know. I just think putting the belt on Balor would be fucking good, and he could probably elevate everything.
Well, you know, with that scenario, what I'm looking forward to most is if Finn holds on to that title for a very long
Cross will
time,
come back.
and then Cross comes back to face Finn. Oh my God, that's gonna be a WrestleMania takeover like event if that happens.
And if you could slowly turn Balor back to being face, even though he's probably having a blast being a heel, but he's kind of had a, you know, he's had a run being heel.
Yeah.
And then you get Demon Balor versus Cross.
Oh my God, man, we haven't seen the Demon. What has it been, 2 years?
Well, yeah, he doesn't do that. Well, no, he did that in Japan as a heel.
Oh, he did?
He did multiple variations of it, actually.
I think I saw one where he dressed as Venom. He had like a Venom theme demon. That was fucking badass.
I think he did one, it's kind of like a Wolverine type thing. I think he did Spawn.
Oh,
He had
shit.
claws for one of them. It's
So,
fucking sick.
So Japan doesn't care about trademarks?
No.
Hey, that's good news for us. But
Well, think
yeah,
about it, Japan lends their fucking people out. They'll let you work at AEW in Japan at the same time. They're pretty chill.
it's a flip of the coin for me between Balor and Cole, because I don't think Ciampa and Gargano, I don't think they're gonna do it. It's gonna be nice to see them fighting each other again, because that's what they do best, is fight each other. But for me, I think it's a flip of a coin, because I don't think Adam Cole's going anywhere. He has stated on interviews that he doesn't want to leave NXT. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But if you ask me, it's between Balor and Cole.
Did you hear the rumor asking for his release from the company?
Adam Cole?
Apparently wanting to do a thing with Britt Baker and Cody and Brandy or something like that.
Oh no, man! I hope not.
Yeah, no, this is it for him. Like, he's become the face of NXT with or without the belt.
Yeah.
He's
Nice.
kind of the guy now.
You think he'll turn face? Is he already face?
No.
No.
Well, I think he was face for the McAfee thing just because they had to flip it real quick because McAfee's fucking great shit talker.
Yeah. He cut one of the greatest heel promos I've ever heard last week. I think it was. It was excellent.
Yeah. And I listened to so many podcasts that I don't know who it was that said, and then Adam Cole went and fucked it all up. Because that whole, like, I'm going to make you my bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. He like intimidated.
Just super kicked them or something. Like, it.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know. It was kind of like bringing it right back to heel versus heel where he could have done it a better way.
Yeah. Well, after this, we get another championship matchup. It's for the Cruiserweight Championship this time. Swerve versus Santos Escobar of the Brown Order. Wade Barrett, during commentary, said, at least 5 of my nose breaks have been from Cruiserweights. Swerve using submissions more than usual during this match, I noticed. Escobar bringing the pain on the outside, throwing Swerve at the plexiglass and the stairs. Escobar with an excellent counter to Swerve's second rope Hurricane Rana into a sit-down powerbomb, because Swerve usually sets him up on the second rope and then he hops and does a Hurricane Rana. Well, he tried doing that, and Santos turned it into like a Batista bomb onto the mat. Takeover quality match. I think this was my favorite match of the entire night. The Brown Order interfere, of course. Breezango for the save, though. Escobar kicks out of Swerve's finisher. I think it's called the house call. Santos puts on a yellow lucha mask on the outside and headbutts Swerve pin for the win. But if you notice, when he put that yellow lucha mask on, he like felt like a bulbous point at the top of it, which I'm guessing is some kind of steel ball or something. I said, what was in that mask? Swerve was out cold. Sinikk, what were your thoughts of this Cruiserweight Championship match?
The loaded mask. All I could think back to, I don't know if I ever told you on a former podcast that I was on the Hangover, but I was a huge Lucha Underground fan.
Oh, yeah?
I loved it. And two of my favorite characters, which I don't give a shit about them on NXT, were Killshot and, what was his name? He was like a hunter, which was Escobar. Trying to remember his name. I'll remember it when it doesn't fucking matter. But they were awesome on Lucha Underground. I love their characters. I love their vignettes, and everything was like a fucking movie because Robert Rodriguez directed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I Swerve's cool, but Killshot was awesome.
Oh, that's who Swerve was?
All I think about it is
Swerve was Killshot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite matches of all time is Dante Fox versus Killshot.
Who's Dante Fox?
You'd have to watch Lucha Underground for that. Their WrestleMania was Ultima Lucha. So there was Ultima Lucha, Ultima Lucha Dos, and Ultima Lucha Trace. And I think it was Dos where they had it was like a 3 stages of hell. They go through glass. It's just crazy. They barbed wire, everything you could think of.
Jeez. What's his name again? Killshot?
Killshot and Dante Fox.
Killshot is a badass name, man. He should have kept that name.
He had a mask on too.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm. And it had like that target, like the crosshairs.
Oh shit! Just like the comic book guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
think he's a comic book.
I gotta give props to NXT. There's very little on the list of firsts I've seen in wrestling, being a lifelong fan. Them loading a lucha mask. I have never seen that before. So big props to Santos. I'm becoming a huge fan of the Brown Order. Santos is climbing my list of one of my favorites. This was an excellent match. I would watch this again in a heartbeat. I loved it. But any final thoughts?
Just that they're probably saving 2 careers by putting them in that faction, and that's Raul Mendoza and DJZ or whatever he calls himself now.
Yeah, because those dudes weren't doing shit. They weren't doing shit before this.
I just saw NXT Dark where what was his name? Sean Menudo debuted, and he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and then he was just losing matches on NXT. It's good to see him somewhere where he could actually utilize his talent. He was a Samoan guy.
Oh, yeah. Is his last name Menudo?
Yeah.
That's funny.
There used to be 3 Usos, but the other guy, he couldn't cut it.
I guess not. They had to make a decision there. After this, Johnny Gargano backstage promo about next Tuesday. Commercial break. Finn video promo about next Tuesday. They were all great. Then we get Kyle O'Reilly with Undisputed Era versus the little train that could, Drake Maverick. Drake, he put up a hell of a fight, but of course Kyle wins via submission. The Undisputed Era jumps Drake afterwards. Killian Dane, you would not think he'd come out there for the save, but he did. But of course, there's still bad blood between him and Drake. He clobbers Drake. This is probably not going to be on the Hulu version, but Sinikk, what did you think about this short segment where Drake gets destroyed?
I think Drake should always get destroyed, but have that kind of fighting spirit, or just get that little one over on him. But yeah, it definitely showed he could kind of hang with Kyle O'Reilly, and it kind of showed that Kyle O'Reilly could probably do something in singles competition if the Undisputed Era ever parted ways. You'd be interested in seeing him kind of being in submission matches and shit like that.
My favorite thing about Drake Maverick is his Stallone mouth. He always has that thing right here whenever he opens his mouth. That's hella funny.
I feel like he got that from getting fired. He was like,
What? From
no.
his wife slapping his dumb ass all the time.
I forgot about that.
Rhea Ripley was interviewed. That's all the notes I took on that. Adam Cole cut a promo about next Tuesday as well. And then the main event. We get Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley versus Dakota Kai and Straight Sonya. Rhea and Straight Sonya facing off. They're equally strong. That was entertaining. Io dominated during the commercial break. Dakota Kai and Straight Sonya have great teamwork. As I was writing that, I was thinking, man, I wish they would take out Bayley and Sasha for those titles. Mercedes yanks Rhea off the apron. A Straight Sonya one-arm powerbomb to Rhea, pin for the win. I don't know if this should have main evented, but it was a good match. What did you think of this, Sinikk and Dog?
What do you think about that, Opie? Oh, you didn't care either?
I don't know, Brandon. No.
We didn't care.
Right.
Yeah, I just think that Rhea Ripley should have been pushed to the moon when they had the chance, and Charlotte destroyed her.
But you got to say it like Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes is awesome.
Push to the moon.
To the moon.
Gretzky's better at doing that than I am. But now we're moving on to AEW Dynamite. Start out with the Bucks versus QT and Dustin. It's the tag team gauntlet match. Nobody got entrances. And then Jericho, of course, big time in him, comes out to join commentary. The crowd is going crazy for him, singing a song again. Dustin hits a Canadian destroyer, and Jericho says, "It's a Texas destroyer. He's never been in Canada, Jim." The Bucks pick up the win, though, with the BTE trigger on QT. Short and sweet match. Up next, the Best Friends are challenging the Bucks. Trent, always impressive. Chuck tweaks his knee early. I just noticed Matt Jackson shaved his John Morrison beard, so now I can't tell them apart anymore. Nick hits a German to Trent on the ring apron. That looked very painful. Jericho points out the apron is the hardest part of the ring. Take a drink. Matt nails a triple Northern Lights to Trent. Love the half and half double team from Best Friends. That maneuver where he does the foot to the face and then Trent does the German. That's a pretty badass move. Tony gives us got to give the people what they want line when the Best Friends go for the hug. Hangman holds on to Nick Jackson's leg, preventing the save. Trent, pin for the win. The Bucks eliminated. Sinikk. Controversial. FTR out
this
next.
is the beginning of the breakup of the Elite.
Oh, yeah. And that was the
But I
story
think
of
the Bucks are going to stay together.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would be
for
stupid.
sure. Yeah, for sure. The FTR come out next. This is at the 23-minute point of Dynamite. They finally get their first commercial break. Picture-in-picture, FTR just brutalizing Chuck's knee that he injured earlier. Chuck rolls up Dax. The ref does not count for some ungodly reason. And Jericho makes fun of the ref on commentary for that. I guess he was confused. He thought there was a tag. But, of course,
I love
Dax,
what he said. I hate all referees.
Yeah.
Mike Chioda, that bitch. Aubrey.
Dax wins via submission on Chuck. The FTR are now facing Hangman and Omega on September 5th at All Out. That was a mouthful. What did you think of the opening gauntlet match, Sinikk?
Jericho's commentary.
I could have filled the whole page with fucking Jericho lines.
Oh, what was that first one again?
Dustin hits a Canadian destroyer, and Jericho goes, "It's a Texas destroyer. He's never been near Canada, Jim."
Oh my god, everything was just so on point with him.
He needs to stay on commentary.
Yeah.
That's the most entertaining part of this entire, what was it, 30 minutes tag team gauntlet match. But why do you think Hangman screwed over the Bucks? He didn't really say anything. He just looked all sad.
Yeah, okay, this is what I said to Lauren, like, right as it was happening, that the whole Bucks and Hangman, it sounded like 13-year-old kids, like, you're out of the club. You're not hanging out in the clubhouse anymore.
Yeah.
And I was just, this is so bad. Just the way it sounded like a fucking bank commercial. But as far as that goes, I think Hangman just wants to have his own agenda. He wants to be an outlaw by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to tell the alcoholic story because, cool, me. The alcoholic, he kind of just self-sabotages and he fucks up everything around him, and he just kind of wants to do his own thing. Yeah. So I think it's the story of the self-sabotage of Hangman, and then if they want to make him like a super baby face, they could have him like build himself back up.
Yeah, like a redemption.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking?
Redemption.
You know what I was thinking is, I mean, over the past couple weeks on Dynamite, they were kind of foreshadowing Hangman joining FTR, weren't they? Didn't it kind of seem like it? Like Hangman would join FTR?
Well, yeah, they're all drinking buddies.
That's right. They're my heroes.
So what if instead of Aldis, what if you got Hangman, Cody, and FTR?
There you go.
That would make more sense the way it's going.
And he rides a horse anyway. He's Hangman.
Perfect.
It just fits.
Oh my God! What if the rest of them get horses? That would be a stallion entrance.
And they all ride out. The next year's All Out.
Led by Sheriff Zanka.
With his dick out.
No, just one ball like Daniel Bryan.
After the commercial break, we get Darby Allin. This was funny. This made me laugh so hard because it was so quick. It was so to the point. Darby Allin, black and white video with tacks on his back. He puts on his jacket and jumps off the bridge. He just fucking jumps off the bridge talking about Ricky. I was like, what the fuck? Was that necessary? What did you think of that video, man? It made me laugh so hard.
I think I was skipping ahead and I was thinking of when he just took Ricky Starks out of the equation so you could get the Vince McMahon wet dream crumbsplosion of what's his name? Cage and Cage and
Murder Hawk.
Fucking Murder Hawk, yeah. Lance Archer, the guy who loves pineapple on pizza. That's another story.
Oh man, Jake hates him already.
I love all his little vignettes. I wish he smoked cigarettes because when he does the thing when he wears the printout of the guy's face, it just burned eye holes with cigarettes. That'd be so much more badass.
You know, I bet you he would appreciate that idea. You should tweet him about that because that'd be pretty badass. And plus,
he strikes me with somebody. He would smoke filterless cigarettes like Lucky Strikes, like old cigarettes.
What if he was on the top of that bridge and he had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and then he jumped? That'd be pretty fucking funny.
Or what if, since he's such a fucking crash and die kind of person, and it's all just filled with gasoline, he just jumps in the fucking fire.
Oh, you know, that's something he would do too. That dude's full of ideas and they're all insane.
Comes back like, I didn't suffer too many injuries. I just singed all the hair off my nutsack.
Yeah.
Bald as a baby.
It was such a quick vignette, but my God, it made me laugh. I really enjoyed it. Well, speaking of Murder Hawk, that's when he comes out with Jake the Snake. Of course, Murder Hawk with his gimmick, he attacks a random spectator. He just goes into the crowd, punches someone in the face, which always gets a pop out of me. Then he faces some Samoan dude, Sean or something. Is that the guy you were talking about?
That was Sean Minuta that I was talking about before.
Oh, okay. Jake the Snake with a full chub laughing on the outside. And JR spouts this gym. Jake's almost orgasmic. Choke slam, blackout, bash his head into the mat, pin for the win. But we're not done with Jake the Snake and the Murder Hawk yet. But do you have any thoughts on this quick squash match before I move on to what Jake says?
I didn't like that one of the commentators, it might have been JR, which usually he's a little sharper than this, had to point out that he was going to pick him back up, like pick his head back up before counting 3, before he actually did it.
Oh, I could see it. You could tell. Didn't he say that?
I was like,
oh, you could just see it coming.
That was just a bad fucking call on their part.
Yeah.
I think that the chokeslam was enough. Nobody fucking makes a chokeslam look like a last thing anymore. You know, Kane used to do the chokeslam, and it was fucking over.
Yeah.
It was over. The match was over, and the move was over.
Yep.
But Sean Menudo was that guy that I was talking about, was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and he might have got squashed, but he's not on Dark. This is happening on Dynamite, so that means they give a shit about him.
That's true.
He could be up in there against, you know, a pissed off Darby Allin, and they could have a fucking banger.
I want to see him get a win over Griff Garrison.
I think nobody. No, put him against Warhorse.
Oh my God, Warhorse! I made fun of that dude on the past Hangover. That dude was, he was so.
He was such a gimmick.
Yeah.
He was an 80s gimmick.
Pretty much.
I think what they're doing with Sean Menudo right now, and I bet you he's Chris Jericho's main project, they're trying to fucking give him a personality so he doesn't spend his whole career as an Apollo Crews.
You were speaking of that chokeslam that Murder Hawk did. Did you see the elevation he fucking got? That was like 1 or 2 feet over Murder Hawk's head, and just bam! That should have been it, like you said. But then he went and overkilled that dude. But hopefully that's not the last.
Those were the chokeslams that Undertaker was given when he was still in the trench coat.
Yep.
He was like the American Badass.
Yep, he kept the coat on with the bandana and the glasses, and he still delivered the fucking chokeslam.
You don't get those anymore.
Dims were the days.
So I appreciated that chokeslam, and I wish that it was a 3, and he left it at that. You know, sent this guy packing. Because, like, was it to try to get more TV exposure? Because that's not the way you do it.
Well, Sean earned his $50 that night.
And a free soda and a hot dog.
After the commercial break, this is when Jake the Snake cuts a promo about the Casino Battle Royal, which Murder Hawk is in. And then 3 unlikely people come out, Cage, Taz, and Ricky. And for some reason, Jake goes, "Here come the Flintstones. Look at Murder Hawk. There's the Flintstones right there." He was all excited about that Flintstones line.
When he was doing that, I was like, this guy's better than that. What is he talking about?
I don't know, maybe the short and stout Taz and
Wilma, that's Barney.
They all argue in the ring, of course. And then we get Darby Allin. Apparently he survived the fall. He skates in, fights Ricky on the stage, just relentless. Taz, Jake, Cage, and Murder Hawk all shout at each other. That was the end of that segment. Did you have any thoughts on that little shouting match? And it's revealed more contestants in the Casino Battle Royal.
Yeah, it tells me that they're going to be in the final 3. It just like spells it out. You know, it's like when they have a battle royal and everybody comes out to one theme song, and then like 4 people get their own entrance. Yeah, and you know that they're going to be last.
Yeah.
It felt like that, but I was more focused. Darby Allin's like little scrappy brawl style. I love that shit. I love the way he beat Matt Starks.
Yeah, he jumped the shit. He beat the shit out of him on that stage all the way to the back. So you really think it's going to be Murder Hawk, Cage, and Ricky? Or Murder Hawk, Cage, and Darby? The last 3 in the Battle Royal.
I think it's going to be Murder Hawk, Cage, and somebody else.
Dustin. No. That's a pretty good thought, though. I didn't even think about that they were foreshadowing the final 4 or 3 that are going to be out there.
Yeah, if they want to like really be smart, have no, that's kind of ending it too early. But I'd like to see Eddie Kingston last.
Oh
Like,
wow. Yeah.
because like between like his promo work and his wrestling and everything, he'd just be great.
Well, personally, my favorite. It probably won't happen because I don't even know if he's in it. But if Ray Phoenix is in the Casino Battle Royal, I want to see him win. I'm such a huge fan of Ray Phoenix. He has a match coming up that we're going to talk about, but Ray Phoenix, he's incredible. I love that dude.
How are you not watching Lucha Underground?
He was on Lucha Underground too?
His best stuff was on Lucha Underground.
Oh, was
You
it
also,
Ray
if you like
Phoenix?
Phoenix,
That
no.
was his name in Lucha Underground?
Well, here's what made it good, and I felt like just simpler. Brian Cage, they started tacking on these names. Like Brian Cage, they used to say, a man they call Cage.
Mm-hmm.
That was like way cooler. He was just Phoenix. And there's probably a couple other ones they tagged on. Pentagon finds a dark side. He becomes Pentagon Dark and has a bloody death match with Vampiro.
Wow.
It's a lot of really like actual good shit, not Vince McMahon good shit.
Is it the money? Is that why Lucha Underground went under?
I don't know. No, you know what happened? The fourth season happened, and the first three seasons were amazing, and then they brought Jake Hager and his Jake Strong, and they did a lot of stuff that just changed it. The main guy, Dario Cuerdo, he was really cool. He was the Vince McMahon, and he's like a little like Mexican cartel dude or something, and he always like had his like he's offering money, and he's like, this match is for a unique opportunity, and the unique opportunity ended up fucking you over. And they'd have something called the Gift of the Gods Championship, and it was like a Money in the Bank, and the way to win that was like so much went into it. You'd have to win a medallion in a match. There were 7 medallions. When you won your medallion, all 7 people would come out, and there'd be a ceremony, and they were magnetic to a championship.
What the fuck?
And then it would be a 7-man ladder.
This sounds like a Legend of Zelda game or some shit.
Dude, it kept me interested.
Hey man, I'll admit it, it's different. That sounds interesting.
Rey Mysterio fought Prince Puma in a banging match, which
that's Ricochet, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just so much good shit. And Cage, when they had the first belt looked like shit, tore it in half with his bare hands. And they had to get a new belt. It was just a lot
Who's
of crazy
the dude?
shit.
I saw one episode where some dude's sitting in a throne, like he's above everybody. He's sitting in a throne or something. Who was that? Mil Morte?
Yeah, Mil Mortes.
Was he the champion?
Yeah, he was the champion for a while until he lost it to the monster something Cuerto, which was Dario Cuerto's little brother. He was triple the size of him, and it was Jeff Cobb.
Oh, Jeff Cobb. Wow.
But Jeff Cobb looked like he was the size of Brian Cage because everybody was tiny.
Even Mil Muerte?
No, that was the only guy that could really fucking step to him.
Oh, okay. Wow, did we get off on a tangent or what?
I just love Lucha Underground. I'm sorry.
There's MJF on his walker heading down the hallway, getting ready for his promo he's about to cut. But we get a Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa video package. Do you know who Thunder Rosa is?
Big time.
I have no idea who that is, so you can give me a history lesson. But we get nerdy Billy Corgan hyping up Thunder Rosa. They sign a contract in some office room during signing. Both belts, to me, looked unimpressive. But, I digress. Give us a history lesson on Thunder Rosa and why we should be impressed by this female.
Thunder Rosa, you hear about people like Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler that are former MMA fighters.
Mm-hmm.
She's still modern day an MMA fighter. and she's got a kick-ass record. She wrecks bitches in the ring. And, you know, part of her gimmick, even in MMA, was painting side of her face.
Uh-huh.
She's just legit. Like, she doesn't need theme music. NWA, you don't come out to theme music. And she held that belt for a long fucking time, like almost on a Nick Aldis level.
Mm-hmm.
No woman was able to touch her. Melina apparently tried, but she fucking failed.
So do you think Sheeta's in trouble?
I think that what they need to do, if Thunder Rosa wants to fully jump ship, and maybe not even go back to NWA, because now you're getting weekly cable television.
Yeah.
Why not? Unify the belts for one way better belt, then the fans will stop bitching.
That is a great idea.
Normal sized, you know, something that won't look like a fucking wristwatch on someone like Nyla Rose, and won't look like it's perfect for Riho.
You know, Thunder Rosa's title looked like a Coors can that was opened. Fucking aluminum can that was a Coors aluminum can open. That's why I put here they were unimpressive.
Head up when you said Coors.
Somebody
say Coors?
Yeah. But I mean, from what you say, I'm looking forward to this match because I know nothing about her, and I'm pretty sure I'll be impressed by her beating the shit out of Hikaru Shida, unless she brings out a fucking kendo stick.
Yeah, she's like a female Bret Hart.
Really, Thunder Rosa?
Yeah, she's very technical.
I like that. I like technical. Are you gonna get all out when it comes? Was it next Saturday?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I got a stiffy when I started seeing like crowd members with their signs again.
Yeah.
I was like, when you saw people with signs, you know that they couldn't wait to fucking be there.
And Jericho had to point it out. Remember? Well, we'll get to it later on, but the way Jericho screamed at the fan with the sign was pretty funny.
It makes you not want to pace around your living room like, do I order this fucking shit during a pandemic with no fucking fans? It makes you're like, yeah. So this is coming up. I'm ordering it if anybody wants to come over.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna order it too. It should be very entertaining. This is where we get MJF cutting his promo in the ring. I love how Nina's still smiling. If you ever see her, she's in the entourage, and Nina's the only chick there, and she always has that smile on her face, so MJF won't yell at her. I always pop when I see her constantly smiling. Mox comes out. Jericho says he hates fans with signs, but then he turns around and says he loves that there's a crowd there. I thought that was pretty contradicting but funny. This is when they mentioned that Mox is number one of PWI's 500 that they put out annually. Jericho was annoyed by that fact. He goes, "It should have been me." The contract.
I think you're number 3.
Yeah. He goes, "What?" And he was hella pissed. The contract signing includes banning the paradigm shift. The crowd is going nuts for Moxley. They continuously cheer for him over MJF's talking. MJF says, "Practice social distancing like your hairline." That popped me. And the camera zooms in on Mox's hairline. And then Mox goes, "Hey kid, you'll go through that someday after you hit puberty," or something. That was a good comeback. They trade insults. MJF drops New Jack's and Zandig's name. He calls them trash because he says Moxley probably looks up to them. Then he talks about Renee Young, doesn't say her name, but that's what gets John to step up. And that's when the lawyer's like, hey, don't you touch her, I'll sue you. And then Mox, before he signs, he says, "Nothing you say matters. Nothing I sign matters. September 5th, you're a dead man." Then he signs it. And everyone, the other side's all laughing like, "That's the stupidest thing you've ever done. I can't believe you signed that." And then Mox goes, yeah. Did you check out page 17? And they're like, "What? What are you talking about? And he goes, "Always read before you sign anything. That's the number one rule." And it turns out he added that page so that next week MJF gets to beat the shit. Moxley gets to beat the shit out of MJF's lawyer. And if he doesn't show up, MJF does not get his match. MJF and company are livid. Sinikk, what did you think about this very entertaining portion of Dynamite?
I think even though you haven't seen him that many times, they highlighted the lawyer so much by just his presence of, like, I will sue you. Like, he has so much aggression to him.
Yeah.
This was easily, and this was just a segment. This wasn't a match or anything. This was the best thing of the fucking whole show.
Oh, yeah.
90% of people, if you put them in that seat sitting across from MJF, they would have crumbled and they would have looked stupid on camera. But Mox fucking hung in there.
You can tell Mox is dedicated and he loves this story and he loves the company because, like you said, he didn't break. He had comebacks like boom, 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 boom. And, yeah.
And he loves saying what's on his mind rather than remembering what was written and how he's supposed to eat the ham sandwich that he brings out as a prop. Fucking WWE.
Do you remember when the lawyer stood up and Mox stood up and he goes, sit down, dipshit? You remember he just snuck that little line in there?
No, he called him Dick something.
Dickweed?
Yeah, sit down, Dickweed.
You gotta love Mox, man. That was incredible. Is MJF's lawyer a wrestler?
No.
No?
What I'm gonna get mad at though, what's really good, because when they put Britt Baker's makeup woman in a match, suddenly she had this wrestling experience and she had gear. That was stupid. They should have had her not know what she's doing and maybe get lucky with a couple stuff. But this guy has to go in like a Paul Heyman against CM Punk.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's no entertainment in it. You know, like maybe MJF like teaches him a couple like moves, like, you know, go for the knees or something like that. Chop block him, and he tries that, and you know,
like a training montage in the back or something.
Training montage would be good TV.
I guarantee you there's going to be some fuck shit. I guarantee you either Mox is going to get attacked on the way to the ring or they're going to be grabbing his leg during the match so he can't win or something. And when Mox wins, they're all just going to get in the ring and beat the shit out of him. Like MJF's going to get out of the wheelchair, rip the neck brace off, and just start beating the shit out of Mox. There's going to be guaranteed. This is a fuck shit certified segment. I called it for next week. Mox versus MJF's lawyer.
I think the neck brace isn't coming off until the actual match, and he's going to kind of one-up the eye patch thing.
That eye patch was so fucking goofy, dude. I'm glad he got rid of that shit.
I just love where he was like, the actual match against Jericho.
What's with wrestling and eyes all of a sudden? There's all this attack, like within the past year. It hasn't just been WWE, but AEW, WWE, they're obsessed with attacking the eyes of people. What the fuck's up with that?
They're a year late with Aleister Black. They should have had him.
I forgot about that guy.
A chip shooting cannons.
Yeah. Imagine him on the WrestleMania pirate ship too. If they had that fucking gimmick back then, it would have Vince McMahon would have orgasmed right there.
Him in a commercial going, land ho, black mass.
Oh God, I hope that doesn't happen. After the commercial break, we get a Santana and Ortiz video promo about the best friends. Santana did all the talking, I believe, and he goes, "You want us to apologize? Well, the only thing I'm sorry for is that Sue wasn't in the van when we destroyed it." Following this, we get the 8-man tag team matchup. I was writing as fast as I could. Butcher, Blade, Lucha Bros with Eddie Kingston versus Griff Garrison, Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, and Brian Pillman Jr. Jericho says, "Hey, Tony, you know what double dive is in Spanish? Dive double." Ray Phoenix, my fave, as I mentioned before. Pentagon pinned Pillman for the win. What did you think about this? They had mentioned the line I'm going to say after this, but before I move on, did you enjoy this 8-man tag?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I like the showcasing of Sunny Kiss and Janela as a team. Them working their double team stuff. That was good.
Yeah. And they kept referring to Sunny as her. I thought that was funny. She's really good. I thought that was pretty funny. You know, it killed JR to say that.
Well,
But,
Jericho was on. Jericho had Sunny Kiss on the podcast, and he asked Sunny Kiss like, just tell everybody at home you don't fucking mind that because, this is 2020 and you identify as a fucking soup can. It doesn't really matter.
yeah, pretty much. It doesn't really.
Jericho identifies as a fucking tuna can.
I took so little notes in the match because they said something that happened on Dark that made me light up like a Christmas tree. They said that Marco Stunt was injured on Dark. Jake Hagar injured his ankle, and I went, hell yeah! It's like, yeah.
You know what else happened on Dark that's going to make you...
Huh?
You know what else happened on Dark that's actually going to make you very sad?
Uh-oh, what happened?
And I don't want to make you sad on your own podcast, but...
Oh, no.
Ray Phoenix had the worst match I have ever seen him in.
What? Who did he face?
A jobber.
Well, he won, though, right?
He won.
Yeah.
But they got this close-up, and I don't know why they had any business going this close to it the way they did. These forearms that are like, here's the guy's head, and like, here's his... It was just so bad. Like,
what?
This match had to have gone on for 10 minutes with a jobber. He had no business wrestling for that long. And it was just bad. The whole thing. Fucking 90% botches. It was just worst Phoenix match I've ever seen.
Too much Cuervo pre-gaming it? You think?
Something.
I will check it out. I'll check it out and I'll get back to you. But, man, that's hard to believe that Ray Phoenix having a shitty match. But
I've never seen him have a shitty match except for that. Unless you want to bring rules into tag matches and point things out, but that's annoying.
Yeah. I still got to get their action figures. They just came out. Eddie cuts a promo.
My son has all of them now.
Who?
My son.
Oh, he has all the AEW figures?
I went to 6 fucking Walmarts, man.
Dude, when they went on sale in the morning, everywhere around my fucking town sold out. Someone went to every Walmart and just took all of them off the racks and bought them. So I wasn't able to get any.
I personally messaged every 40-year-old man who's buying them and selling them on Macari and cursed them the fuck out and called them a bunch of fucking cocksmokers.
Yep, they were selling Jericho for $50.
Yeah, Cody was like 95.
And the Young Bucks together, 100. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You guys bought that just to do this? That's bullshit, man.
Scumbags.
Of course, that's what everyone does. That's why I lost faith.
They're worse than pedophiles.
That's right. It was probably Austin Theory. After this, Eddie cuts a promo after. They are all in the Casino Battle Royal. Sinikk wants to see Eddie going out last in that Casino Battle Royal. We shall see, though. He cuts a hell of a promo. But after this, the Dark Order is... Oh, yeah, the Dark Order mauling the Nightmare Family recap. Jericho tells Cody to take 2 weeks off and quit the business. Dark Order doing a dance with the casket on the stage. It's that famous meme of the African guys with the casket. The Dark Order were doing that. It was pretty funny on the stage. They were on cloud 9. They bought lawnmowers. 10 was in the casket. They're still poking fun at Cody. He has that ugly neck tattoo like Cody does. I guess they drew it on with a magic marker or something.
That popped me.
And then Mr. Brody Lee comes out with Anna Jay and tells Tony to join him in the ring for the celebration. Tony interviews Mr. Brody Lee. And Mr. Brody Lee says, we buried the Nightmare Family and the open challenge for the TNT Championship is done. This is when he starts complimenting Anna Jay. I could have swore he said Anna is 99 and Anna is the Queen Slayer. Did you catch that? He called her 99, or am I hallucinating?
No, he called her. I thought that was like her gimmick name or something like that. Like, oh, the I don't know, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, 99 and a J. I don't know.
Hmm.
I thought it was her indie thing or something, but I don't know. He also has that thing with the numbers where you're 10,
Yeah.
you're 4. And I love watching my hometown boy get knocked out. That was funny.
Oh, who
John
was
Silver.
it? Yeah. Have you met him?
I know him.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, I know him and Alex.
Oh, that's badass, dude. So every time you go, whenever you see him on Dark, do you tweet him and be like, dude, that was badass?
Or Instagram messaging is easier.
Oh, Instagram. Okay. That's pretty sweet. You got a connection with the Dark Order.
Well, I didn't know that that's what they were doing, but so far there's 4 people I know. I don't know Chris Statlander that well, but Statlander, Silver, Reynolds, and Fuego del Sol is only on Dark right now, but they're giving him multiple matches, so they're building him up.
Man, wouldn't it be crazy a year from now we see Sinikk in the Dark Order come out, takes his mask off. It's Sinikk in the ring. He's a part of the Dark Order.
I don't want to be
You don't want to join the Dark Order and get abused by Brody Lee?
anything else.
Well, speaking of that, he attacks his own. He kicks Tony out. Dustin and QT come out to fight and get jumped, of course. Then Scorpio Sky comes out, clears the ring out. Anna Jay slaps him. The Dark Order jump him. And then the Savior, Matt Cardona, comes out for the save. He's looking jacked, but it's hard to believe that he was the one to save everybody. What did you think of this whole segment of the Dark Order and the lawnmowers and the casket and Tony coming in and all that shit?
Well, seeing Cody casket getting buried with that too was pretty funny. And as far as everything else goes, I really like the spot they're giving Cardona.
Mm.
And, it's making him look like kind of like a badass baby face trying to like overcome a bunch of people. They're doing a better job with building up the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Because that was basically Brody Lee shooting when he said, you guys were all thought of as a fucking joke before I showed up.
Yep.
They're still laughing, but now they're watching and like paying attention because they're in mainstream shit.
Yeah, he was saying they were laughing at the Dark Order at first, but then when he came in, they're all taking him serious now.
The Black Panther died.
The Black Panther died?
Yeah, I'm getting word from behind me in the bedroom.
It looks like you're looking at yourself. When
Yeah,
you turn.
he whispers. He speaks puzzle tongue.
He knows all.
He speaks that Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, it's like me personally, WWE booked Matt Cardona as a joke, but seeing him come out and clear the ring out, it's starting to make me a believer that he could be something in AEW, and hopefully he is.
He's in the best shape I've ever seen him in.
Oh yeah, that dude's fucking jacked. That dude is jacked.
And he's not wearing one pant leg. He's on fire.
Yeah, so maybe he's now known in the Nightmare family as the Equalizer. He should go with that gimmick.
I think this whole Nightmare family thing has to come to an end.
You're not a fan?
No, I've not invested in it one tiny iota.
Well, at least Brandy got the hint,
sisters. Right? Yeah. Anna Jay, I'm into that.
Anna Jay is hot. She's now evil, and I think she's going to be featured a lot more on Dynamite. So I'm looking forward to the future of Anna Jay. Or Anna
I just
99.
love the way like Brody looked like he was gonna maybe put hands on Brandy. He's like, nah, I got a bitch, and just bring her out.
Yeah. And then she gets her in the chokehold. After the commercial break, Dasha catches up with Hangman at the bar to ask why. Why, Hangman? Why? But then, like you said, this is where the fucking club, he gets kicked out of the club. The Bucks throw his drink in his face, kick him out of the Elite. He didn't say one word. Hangman said nothing. He just looked depressed. The Bucks call him out on his drinking. What did you think of this little quick segment of Hangman getting booted out of the Elite?
Oh, I think I already told you about that. It felt like they were just kicking their other 12-year-old friend out of the Cool Kids Club.
You can't hang out at my house anymore.
Yeah, and if you come to the door, I'm going to tell my mom that I'm not home.
I'm not going to answer your phone calls. Well, after this, we get Big Swole in a handicap match versus Rebel, Penelope, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Britt says if Swole wins, she gets any match she wants anytime. And then she sings a Shania Twain song. Come on, girls. Dun, 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 dun. She started singing. That was pretty funny. Penelope drops Swole on the second rope. Britt starts poking Swole in the face with her fucking crutch. That popped me big time. Kip Sabian distracts the ref. Swole gets on the outside, beats the shit out of him. Rebel hits one of the worst moonsaults I've ever seen in my life to Swole. She was on the rope. She did the backflip. And when she landed, her butt was arched in the air like she didn't want to hit Swole. I don't know if you caught that, but that was the worst moonsault I've ever seen in my life.
Wasn't that the second time she tried that?
Hmm?
Wasn't that the second time she tried that?
During the match?
No. Didn't she wrestle like the week before or something and try to do a second rope moonsault?
I think so, but that one was even better than this shit one she did this week. I know
They were all terrible, but this one was worse.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rebel accidentally hits Penelope in the face with the crutch. Swole pin for the win. Seemed like a sloppy aftermath because the camera cut to Jericho, JR, and Tony, and they all seemed like they didn't know what to say. They're like, coming up. I just thought it was a sloppy segment. I'm always a fan of Dr. Britt Baker, but the match was garbage. Hopefully this leads to something more entertaining. I don't mean to be so negative, but Sinikk, what did you think about this this little segment?
I think this whole thing was a fucking brutal abortion. I hated it. It was so bad.
It was, besides Britt Baker poking Swole in the face with a crutch, this was a waste of time.
Everybody's getting drafted to dark after that match.
Well, Evil Uno and Anna Jay, speaking of Anna Jay, and Stu Grayson, your buddy, present Taya Conti with a Dark Order folder. She takes it and hugs Anna Jay. Man, Anna Jay and Taya Conti, who's hotter? They're both fucking hot.
We're seeing a lot of these NXT girls that were just taking L's to move up talent, getting pushed into AEW. Yeah. Conti, that's what I always think every time I hear her name. Cunty. Here comes Cunty.
Yeah.
She was in NXT. The best person getting utilized right now is Perazi.
Oh, Deonna Purrazzo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's Impact, right? She just beat Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They give you the WWE instant champion treatment.
Exactly. They get the boost, and at least they're actually getting W's now. But I'm a fan of Taya Conti's looks. I'm not quite there with the wrestling, but I haven't seen much of Taya Conti. Anna Jay is good, but hopefully, I guess Taya is now going to be in the Dark Order, or is she going to linger just like Colt Cabana? I'm not sure. But, they're starting a story, and I'm interested to see where it goes. That what was like 2 minutes? 2-minute segment right there was better than that whole Big Swole handicap match.
Yeah, everything was better.
Your camera's freaking out on you.
Yeah, I know. Why'd you turn the light off?
It's a blue light.
I know, it fucked up my shit.
Oh, there he is. After this, we get the
It was
orange.
me, Austin.
We get the Orange Cassidy attack recap, bubbly to the face, and the main event. Yeah. Sammy G with the signs. You know, he has his commercial break signs. I always do the due diligence and write as fast as I can. This time it said, "Broken Spirits, nope. Broken Sammy, not a chance. Broken Matt, stand by. Prepare to witness the breaking of a legend. Matt Hardy, you can't delete a Spanish god." Commercial break finishes the main event, the tables match between Sammy Guevara and generic rock Matt Hardy. They did go to another commercial break pretty quick when the match started. You could still hear the audio from the match during the commercials. I thought that was pretty funny. Sammy puts himself through a table with a missed dive onto outside table because Matt moved. Sammy got busted open real gnarly on the side of his head. You saw the pictures on his Instagram and stuff. Matt puts himself through a table with missed elbow drop on the outside because Sammy moved. Matt, I don't know, when Matt Hardy went through that table, it looked like it folded, and it looked like the table kind of went, wow, kind of like bonked him in the head when he went through that table. I don't know if that was a work. I don't know if that was a shoot, but that dude was dazed for the remainder of the match. He hits a twist of fate, though, on the Sammy with Sammy's head in the chair and then pulls out a table that says deleted on top of the table. He brings it in the ring. He placed a chair under it, which I've never seen before. Matt places Sammy on the table, tries to climb the turnbuckle, but he's still like woozy and dazed. Sammy then capitalizes, superplexes Matt through the table for the win. Did you think Matt was really dazed, or do you think that was a work?
Yeah, that was like a gimmick table bear trap. I'll say this, that he definitely gave Sammy a fucking CVS receipt.
Yeah, he did. That was equally as bad right here as Matt got right here.
Yeah, I think that Sammy winning didn't hurt Matt, because I think the moral of it was a scar for a scar.
Yeah, there you go. Another eye for an eye situation there.
Yeah, but at least you get what you actually say here. These are real scars.
Yeah.
You know how I got these scars?
He's going to have...
Sammy Guevara was a drinker.
I wonder if he's going to have the same amount of staples. I've seen the pictures, but I don't know what he needed afterwards. I don't know if it was stitches or staples. Did you read anything about that?
No, but I bet if Russo was in charge over there, they would have like a Staples match after that, or
oh my god,
it would be like a sewing machine match for a person who's gotta sew the other guy's wound shut.
Oh my god,
Something
fucking
terrible.
Russo. And then we'll get some HLA. Oh no, wait, that was Eric Bischoff. After the match, Orange Cassidy sprints across the stage, dives over the commentary table, and attacks Chris Jericho. JR shit his diaper. A brawl ensues. It was pretty damn cool to see Orange Cassidy with that much intensity going straight after Jericho. What did you think of the final segment of AEW Dynamite?
I focused on JR a lot because it felt like he didn't know that was going to happen, which made it feel so real. It felt like he was generally pissed off and scared shitless. Like that was real. That's
they even asked him, JR, are you okay? He goes, yeah, I just didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? God damn it. My papers.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, Jericho, we wouldn't know who the fuck Pineapple Pete was if it wasn't for Jericho. He's just continuously building stars.
Exactly.
And if it's a testament to his career that Orange Cassidy gets over, the guy that's been like the laughing stock of, serious wrestling fans, Jericho, you can't see it, but that's how high up it is.
He's got the Midas touch, man. I mean, he can get anything over and anybody over, and he just did. Mimosa Mayhem match coming up at All Out. Who's taking it this time? It's Jericho Cassidy 3.
Oh, you read my question along with the hashtags, right?
I read the hashtags.
Well, I meant like not out loud, but just read it.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember. I can look them back up again.
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
I basically just said that I asked Jake if he could insert himself into the match and interfere. Would you make it a mimosa bathtub? I have to read it again.
I can still pull it up if you want. I got it right
words
here.
are hard.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. It goes, can't miss anyone. His question. Jerry Lawler, first one. CBG, 2. For Jake, if you could inject yourself into the mimosa match at All Out and put it in a big bath with ice cream, would you do it?
There it is.
Oh, my God. You know he would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It'd be an orange sherbet fucking bathtub match.
Orange sherbet. That's good.
Well, we did it, Sinikk. We made it
Yes.
through the SRAP review, NXT breakdown, AEW breakdown. We've come to the end of the Hangover. Is there anything you would like to plug?
I want to be Jake's best friend.
Oh, all right, fine. Lauren's got something to plug.
Uh-oh.
Just yell it.
I want to be Jake's best friend.
You gotta be louder than that.
No, you can say it then.
She wants to be Jake's best friend.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, I'm
She's
pretty sure he's
bitter.
excited for that. You know, the SRAP best friends, they do have Tammy Lynn, but we could add Violet to the mix as well. I'm going to have to change her whole gear, though. Violet's
her. I
whole
want Tammy
gear
back.
is going to have to change.
You could have her.
She's going to have the denim jacket with the best friend shirt.
You like denim?
Yeah.
She likes denim.
There you go. She's going to be decked out in denim and SRAP gear with the shades and everything.
Yeah.
And a bathtub and some ice cream.
Yeah.
I picture just there's gonna be like a 3-way spoon fest of her, Sam, and Jake just feeding each other ice cream with the same spoon. It's gonna be gross.
Oh, my
Tune in.
God. To make it worse, it's Andy Spoon. I have a little rocky road on that spoon. No. Oh, God.
It's always a pleasure.
Sinikk, it's going to be exciting for you to keep us updated on your journey to becoming a professional wrestler. We all want to hear about it, so keep us updated. Post it in your stories or whatever. We also heard that somebody purchased 12 of your Sinikk Mafia shirts. Do you know anything about that?
Can I plug one more thing?
You can plug whatever you want, brother.
I want to plug a message for Jake. He said he was going to send me a shirt for free if I sold a certain amount. I have still yet to receive said shirt. I will, in return, be sending him an Acme rocket that will not refuse to blow up.
You hear that, Jake?
It's not.
There is something that was supposed to happen this episode. I'll reveal it later, but somebody was busy. Let's just say that. But there you go. There's your plug, Sinikk. Thank you for spending this time with us here on The Hangover. Thank you for catching us up.
Do you know who bought these shirts?
No.
That's not it?
Oh, who bought them?
I don't know. I guess it's still a fucking mystery.
Oh, you don't know who bought them for reals?
No, I'm guessing CBG just gave it to all his murder friends or something. I don't know.
Wow. That's incredible because I wasn't it like $300 worth of shirts?
I just know it was 12 shirts.
I wonder what size they were. Were they even large or extra large? Did Jake tell you?
If they're in 4X, I know the Mega Pounders. I switch sides.
That's right. We're all gonna sport it. Well, once again, thank you, Lauren. Thank you for contributing.
Say something.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Always a pleasure.
I appreciate the effort with the background as well. I don't know if you saw Andy's background when I had him on. It was pretty funny. I'm still trying to tinker with this and trying to get my own custom background. Maybe next episode I'll finally get it down.
Yeah, it's super easy.
I'm stupid though, so it might take a while.
We're all stupid. That's why we're friends.
Well, hey, don't miss next week. You got to get your damn question in there. Set your alarm clock. Wake up super early. Throw it in. He does it at 8 p.m. Pacific, which is 11 your time, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Send me another message and I'll do all those other things.
I'm just going to keep sending you the message. I'm like, post your question, post your question, post your question.
That'll work.
Alrighty, man. Well, like I said, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you joining me in the Zoom sessions, which will go on for another couple episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for listening to the Mighty 20. Thank you for watching. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush.